And then if you are using, we are also going to go to a half moon today. So if you like using a yoga block, or you can even use a hand weight, just if you like that little extra support to bring the floor up to meet you, that's always a good option. I personally like that. My arms are short, so I like that little extra support team. Okay, find your comfortable seated position. Take a second to just get nice and comfy, cozy, wiggle into your sits bones. If it's available right away, close your eyes down, even as you do your kind of coming to your mat ritual, whatever little wiggles you like to do. And then once you find that kind of settling in stillness, let your shoulders soften. Let your arms get nice and heavy. See if you can let go of any gripping in your inner thighs, the tops of your thighs, even let go of your feet and your ankles. And then as you start to find that settling in sensation, a little contrary to what we normally do, you're going to allow your whole spine to sink and settle in. So I'm talking like really bad posture, kind of that soft and round position that you might, if you were casually sitting on the floor for a moment where you lose your posture altogether and you don't even notice. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, I got to sit up taller. So allow everything to kind of soften and slump. And then I promise we'll come to a nice tall posture. So for a second here in this softened, rounded, really not good postured position, notice your shoulders, notice your hands, and get a sense of your energy level here. And then think about drawing your energy down into the floor, push into your sits bones, lift up through your spine, and then imagine pulling your ribs slightly in towards each other. So there's this little bit of engagement right at your center of your solar plexus. And then once you've found that more uplifted position, tune into your forehead and your chin. And we're just going to pull the chin and the forehead back slightly, almost as if you're trying to make a tiny little double chin. But we want to imagine that we're pushing the back of our head into a wall. So head, heart, hips are in line. And then once you found your way here, eyes opened or closed, that's totally up to you. But as you inhale, just let your shoulders lift up to your ears. And as you exhale, let your shoulders melt down, nice and slow and soft. Inhale and let your shoulders lift. Exhale and let your shoulders soften down. One more breath here. Inhale, let your shoulders lift. Exhale, let your shoulders melt down, and then bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, but maintain that nice upright posture. So we lift up through the crown of the head, the ribs are drawing in towards each other, shoulders are softened down. And then let your awareness come back to your breath. Take a nice full deep breath. Think, fill up your belly, your ribs, and then all the way up to the collarbones. And then as you exhale, from the collarbones to the ribs to the belly. Inhale to your belly, to your ribs, to your collarbones. Exhale from your collarbones to your ribs, to your belly. One more cycle of breath like that. Inhale, fill up your belly, your ribs, your collarbones. Exhale from your collarbones to your ribs, to your belly. And then from here, we're going to add on. So inhale to the belly, to the ribs, to the collarbones, and then retain your breath for a moment. Hold the breath at the top. And then when you feel ready, exhale from your collarbones to your ribs, to your belly. Once you let all that air go, pause and retain that exhale. And then when you feel ready, inhale down to the belly, fill up the ribs, all the way up to the collarbones, retain your breath at the top. Exhale, collarbones to the ribs, to the belly, and then retain your exhale once all that air is gone. When you feel ready, inhale, fill up to the belly, to the ribs, to the collarbones. Retain your breath at the top. And then when you're ready, exhale, collarbones to the ribs, to the belly. Let all of that air go. And then once you're all out of air, hold or retain that exhale for a moment. And then inhale again. Now start to just let your breath come back to a natural rhythm. The hand that's on the belly, stack that hand on top of your heart. And then pause here for a moment. Set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. Awesome. And then with that intention set, maybe eyes open or closed, that'll be totally up to you. But we're going to keep those hands stacked on the heart, just a little gentle pressure in that space. As you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. And as you exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest. Inhale as you lift your chin up. Exhale as you tuck your chin down. One more just like that. Inhale to lift your chin up. Exhale to tuck your chin down. And then bring your head to a neutral position, but keep your hands on your heart. We're going to just take a few turns of the head side to side. So we're just putting that gentle pressure on the heart space, but really we're just trapping the skin, trapping the connective tissue, and noticing that gentle movement of muscles right underneath our hands. Lovely. Take one more turn of your head side to side. And then as your head comes back to center, we're going to release the hands from the heart and now interlace the fingers, flip the palms so they're pressing outward. And then we're going to press the palms down towards the floor. Rearrange your shoulders so everything feels good. Get a little taller through the crown of your head. And then we're just going to lift the arms up straight in front of the chest. Press into the palms, drop your shoulder blades down. Notice how that feels. And then if it feels really great, you're going to lift up and overhead and just notice that where you meet a point where your body is sort of finding a little resistance. Take one good breath. And then when you're ready, unlace your fingers. Right hand's going to touch down. Left hand's going to reach up, lean over to one side. Take a nice deep breath. And then when you're ready, lift and take it over to the other side. Left hand touches down, right hand reaches up. Beautiful. Lift up and we're going to take it right into a light seated twist. So left hand's going to find the right knee. Right hand behind you, get nice and tall. Awesome. And then release, take it over to the other side. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release. And now we're going to give ourselves a little hug. So right hand on top, left hand on bottom. Just give yourself a little hug. Let your shoulders get soft and heavy. Tuck your chin down to your chest. So we're going to keep the upper body in the position that it is, just letting the shoulders drop down. Tuck your chin down slightly. Take a nice deep breath and notice the muscles in the back of your neck. Awesome. Lift your head, release your arms, swing your hands all the way behind the back with nice tall fingers. Squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your chest, lift your chin. And then when you're ready, release, and other hand is going to come on top. So we're going to give ourselves that hug. Shoulders are going to be down, but everything else is going to stay as it is. Tuck your chin to your chest. Notice the space in the back of your neck. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. Lift your head up, release your arms, swim your hands behind the back. Nice tall fingers. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release that gentle back bend, lean back into your sits bones, swing your legs out in front of you. And then we're just going to kind of lean back into the palms. So we've got a good handhold that we can rock the knees side to side. So here we're getting a light massage into the glutes, a little bit of movement into the hips, but then tune in and notice here. How do your knees feel? How do your hips feel? How is your back feeling? Beautiful. Take one more rock of those knees side to side. And then from here, we're going to take a light seated ragdoll fold. So step your feet forward, but we're still going to keep that big, generous bend in the knees, feet about shoulder width distance apart. Think lifting the belly up and over. And then as you exhale, just reach down towards your feet. Let the back of your body soften. Soften your shoulders. Let your back round a little bit. So no need to effort here. Just tune back into your breath. Nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath. Wonderful. Once you've completed those cycles of breath, start to walk yourself up nice and slow. We're going to stay in the seated position, but now step your feet longer towards the end of your mat. Sit up nice and tall. And if you need your hands to help support, just bring your hands down alongside your hips so you can maintain that nice tall posture. We're going to focus on the feet here. So just looking down at your feet, start by bringing your feet into a nice, slightly active parallel position. And then once you found that slightly active parallel position, spread your toes as wide as you can. That's going to look different on everybody, but you just want to find that active engagement, sort of invigorating the feet, getting those muscles working. And then when you're ready, release, relax your feet. Spread your toes as wide as you can. Release and relax your feet. We're going to do that one more time. Spread your toes as wide as you can. Release and relax your feet. And now we're going to make a little Barbie doll foot, but just work on the right leg. So little kitten heel. We just want to push the ball of the foot forward, but keep the toes pulled in. Once you feel like you found that, now we're going to keep that position with the foot. Pull the toes in, flex your foot. Keep that Barbie foot, push the ball of your foot forward, but the toes are still pulling inward. And then pull the toes in towards you. Nice. One more time, just like that. Push the ball of the foot forward. Pull the toes in, flex the foot slightly. Awesome. And then relax that leg, maybe even give your toes a little wiggle, give your knees a little bounce. And then we're going to take it over to the other side. So a light spread of the toes, and then we're going to make that Barbie foot. So the ball of the foot pushes forward, but the toes stay in that semi-flex position. Push the ball of the foot way forward, and then pull the foot in. Beautiful. Push the ball of the foot forward, but the toes stay flexed, and then pull it back in. Nice. One more just like that. Push the ball of the foot forward. Flex the foot, pull it in. Beautiful. And then find a neutral position. Woo, wiggle out your toes, give your ankles a little shake, bounce out your knees. From here, we're going to spin around into a tabletop. So swing your legs around in any way that works good for you. And as you come onto all fours, just do that little check-in. So if you need to double stack your mat or cushion your knees or cushion your wrists, take a second to do that. And then once you've found your way into your tabletop, we're going to do a little focus work here. So spread your fingers nice and wide, index fingers pointing to the top of the mat. From here, come into a really terrible posture. Just slump into your shoulders, let your belly relax, no support in the low back. And then just kind of get a sense of how that energy feels. And then we're going to get engaged. So push into the palms of the hands into the fingers. Push the floor away from you. Pull the front body up, broaden your shoulders. Lengthen your neck, gaze down between your thumbs. Take a big conscious breath. Two more cycles of breath here. Nothing to do except for to breathe. Awesome. And then from this really nice, strong position, we're going to move into a pelvic tilt. So we're going to try and isolate just the hips. So a little curl the tailbone up, and then a little drawing of the tailbone down. So it's going to be a really subtle motion since we're not doing that whole cat-cow spine. So it's really just trying to rock the hips, lifting the tailbone slightly, curling the tailbone under, but trying to maintain a little stability up in the shoulders, up in the ribs, and a little broadness in the upper back body. Gaze is still down between the thumbs. Beautiful. One more time through. And then move into your cat-cow. As you inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back. Inhale to drop your belly. Exhale to round your back. Nice. One more just like that. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale to round your back. And now we're going to add on as you inhale, drop your belly, curl your toes under, lift your chest. Keep the belly drop down. Take 3 nods of your head up and down. And then as you complete that last tilt, lifting of the head, pull the abdominal muscles up and in, keep your toes curled under, pull your butt back to your heels. Inhale and come forward, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail, take 3 nods of your head up and down. Beautiful. And then as your head comes to neutral, pull the abdominal muscles in, pull your butt back to your heels, little stretch to the toes. We're going to do that one more time. Come forward, keep the toes curled under, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail, keep the belly drop, nod your head up and down 3 times. Beautiful. And then as your head comes to neutral, pull the abdominal muscles in, keep the toes curled under, pull your butt back to your heels, stay here for an extra cycle of breath or two. So we want to find that nice gentle stretch in the toes, the bottoms of the feet. If it feels good, wag your hips a little side to side. Awesome. One more little wag of the tail side to side. And then when you're ready, lift up, release your toes. We're going to step the right foot forward and find a squared up lunge or a 90-90 lunge. So you're going to step that right foot forward and then come up and then just rearrange your legs so it feels like a good stable position. From here, we're going to draw the tailbone down. So we want to find a little bit of lengthening through the low back and a little sensation through that front left hip space or where your front left pocket would be. Once you've got your way here, right hand on the hip, left hand is just going to reach up to the sky. You're going to look up. And then as you exhale, you're still going to keep that tailbone curling under, but release your left hand down. And then we'll do that again. Inhale, lift your left hand up, look to the sky. Exhale to lower down, but keep that tailbone curled under. One more just like that. Inhale and lift up. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. And now we're going to take this into a light little twist. So left hand's going to reach across to the right knee, rotate to the right just as far as feels good. Find a little leverage. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release, unwind. Hands are going to come down to the ground. We're going to step that right foot back, both sets of toes curled under. Pull your butt back to your heels. Take one nice big breath here. Awesome. And then when you're ready, lift up, release your toes, step your left foot forward so we get that 90-90 lunge to the other side. So we're going to square everything up to start. We're going to think about drawing that tailbone down so we find sensation now through the front of that right hip or where your front right pocket would be. And once you're there, inhale, arms up and look up. Right arm up and look up, I should say. Exhale and lower it back down. Keeping the tailbone curled under. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale and lower down. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale and lower down. Awesome. And now we're going to take it for a little twist. So right hand's going to reach across that left knee, rotate to the left, take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then when you're ready, release. Hands are going to find the ground. Step that left foot back, big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Come to extended child's pose. Pull your butt back to your heels. Let your belly and your chest soften down. And then just see if you can rearrange your elbows so that you'll be able to bring your prayer hands together behind the head. So you might choose to walk your elbows in just a little bit closer or find a nice space for them so that your elbows can find the ground. And then if your elbows have found the ground, if it feels comfortable for you to do so, prayer hands together, hands are going to find the back of the head. Take one more breath here. If your hands are behind the head, go ahead and gently release them. We're going to lift up nice and slow, walk the knees in, come back to your tabletop position, curl both sets of toes under, and as you exhale, lift up into downward facing dog, take a few gentle pedals of the legs, bend one knee and press into the opposite heel. Take one or two more pedals of the legs, and then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. We're going to come to a folded ragdoll at the top of the mat. So feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, nice wide space, makes plenty of space for the belly, plenty of space for the chest, super generous bend in the knees so we're not yanking against those hamstring muscles. And then if it feels good, either hands are going to find the floor or you're going to catch hold of your elbows, just whatever handhold feels nicer to you. And then see if you can just invite some softness into the back of your neck. Let your head hang nice and heavy here. Take one more breath. And then if you're holding onto your elbows, go ahead and release. Fingers are going to find the floor. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll on up to standing. Take your time as you come up. And then as you come up to standing, just give yourself a second. Get yourself all situated. Fix your clothes up. Fix your hair. And then we're going to find our mountain pose at the top of the mat. We're going to bring a little focus back to our feet. So if you like, just take a little looky-loo down at your feet. Feet should be in a slightly parallel position with the toes and knees pointing roughly in the same direction. And then once you feel like you've got a good spacing for your feet, you're just going to lift your toes, spread your toes as wide as you can, lift the soles of the feet. So we're going to still keep those toes lifted, and we're going to lift energetically up through the front of the body. So a light lift through the tops of the thighs, but we're not locking into the knees. So we're not trying to push the knees back. So find that light lifted up sensation. Snuggle your shoulders down. Let your arms come heavy at your sides, palms facing forward or palms facing in. That's just whatever feels more comfortable in your shoulders. And then once you feel like you've found it, all of that lifting up sensation, keep that lift, but just soften your toes down to the ground. Cool. And then see if you can just feel your feet connected to the floor without looking down. Can you spread your toes nice and wide on the floor? And then once you feel like you've got that good spread of your toes, we're going to inhale, lift your heels up away from the floor. Doesn't matter how high you go, really focusing on spreading the toes. As you exhale, soften your heels back down. Keep your toes spread. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale and lower down. One more just like that. Keep your toes as wide as you can. Inhale and lift your heels up. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up to a standing position. Roll your shoulders around, down, and back. Lift the soles of your feet. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. As you come up and roll up, can you keep lifting up through the soles of your feet? Roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down, and back. Nice. One more just like that. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale, soften down. Spread your toes. Lift from the soles of your feet. Pull the abdominal muscles in. Roll up to your standing position. Roll your shoulders around, down, and back. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight now, whatever feels good to you. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step both feet back to downward facing dog. Take one good breath here. We're going to pick up the heels, lower the knees, come into puppy pose. So we're going to keep our hips in line with the knees. Walk your hands forward just a little bit more. Release your toes if you like. Let your chest and your forehead melt down. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Lift up slightly. We're going to thread the right hand through, but we're going to keep the spine straight. So we're going to thread the right hand through. Keep your spine straight. Rearrange that right arm so it feels like it's got plenty of good space. Lower your forehead down. That left arm is still reaching out nice and long. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Push gently into your left hand to lift up slightly. Release your right arm nice and long. Left hand is going to thread through. We're keeping the spine straight. So we're just thinking across the chest stretch. So as that left hand threads through, you just want to rearrange it so it's comfortable. And then soften your right hand down, soften your forehead down. Take a nice big breath. When you're ready, push into your right hand, lift up slightly, slide that left hand forward, back to your puppy pose. Hips are staying in line with the knees. Drop your chest down, take one more breath. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, walk your hands back in, find your tabletop position, curl your toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog. We're going to take a three-legged dog, but it's going to be a nice hip square, shoulder square type of three-legged dog. So we're going to lift the right leg up. Toes and knees are going to stay pointing down, so you might not get as much height, but can you keep your shoulders level? Can you keep your hips nice and level? And then flex your foot, push through your heel like you're trying to push your foot across the room. Take one good breath. And then release that right foot down. We're going to switch to the other side. So left leg is going to lift up. Keep your toes and your knees pointing down. Keep your shoulders square, keep your hips square. Beautiful. Push through that left heel like you're pushing it to the wall behind you or up towards the corner of the ceiling. And then when you're ready, release that foot down, soften both knees, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Nice. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold, knees bent or straight, just whatever feels good to you here. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step the right leg back. We're going to come into a runner's lunge. So we're going to keep our hands on the ground as we find that nice lunge, but keep the knee lifted if you can. Heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Awesome. We're going to plant the palms, step that front leg back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Pick up your heels, bend your knees, lower down. We're going to come back to a child's pose. So release your toes, pull your butt all the way back to your heels. Slide your hands back. Let your hands find the soles of your feet. Soften through the back of the body, soften the back of your neck. Take a nice full breath. Try to feel the breath in the upper back body. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, release your hands from the soles of the feet. Slide them forward. Lift your hips away from your heels. Curl the toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk, hop, or step your feet up to the top of the mat. Come to a little forward fold. Inhale to a half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg back, runner's lunge. So we're going to keep that back knee lifted. Keep the hands on the ground. Heart forward, look forward. Take a breath. Beautiful. Plant your palms. Step back to down dog. Nice. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come to tabletop position. Release your toes, pull your butt back to your heels, come back to your child's pose. Slide your hands back, touch the soles of the feet, soften through the back of the body. Take 3 nice deep breaths here. On your next inhale, release your hands from the soles of the feet. Slide your hands forward. Lift into a tabletop position. Curl the toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk, step, or hop your feet up to the top of the mat. Come to your forward fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees. Push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. We're going to hook our thumbs. So you're going to catch a little hook of your thumbs up and overhead. So fingers are wide, thumbs are hooked. Pull your thumbs apart. So we want to feel a little bit of engagement in the upper back body, in the chest. Maybe you feel a little bit of firing up right along the outside of your armpits. Pull your thumbs apart. Keep that engagement. Keep pulling the thumbs apart. And now we're going to sink into a little chair. So pull the thumbs apart. Bring your butt down and back. Keep a nice even space between your knees. Beautiful. Keep pulling the thumbs apart. Lift back up. Keep pulling the thumbs apart. Sink into a chair. Beautiful. Keep pulling the thumbs apart and lift yourself back up. One more just like that. Keep pulling the thumbs apart. Sink into your chair. Lovely. Keep pulling the thumbs apart. Lift up. And then keep pulling the thumbs apart. Just a little gentle back bend. So we're going to lift the heart slightly. Look up to the sky. Take a nice big breath. Release your back bend. Release your thumbs. Float your hands down. Roll your shoulders down and back. Nice. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step the right leg back, warrior 2. Drop the back heel down, turn the toes out. Right hand is going to pick you up. Awesome. And then just for a second here, just make sure everything feels good, stable. You want to make sure that front knee feels nice and engaged and active, inner thigh nice and active. And then see if you can just draw some energy up from your feet, up your legs, up the side body, out through your fingertips. Take a nice big breath. Wonderful. And then we're going to take our arms into eagle arms. So our heart's going to rotate out to the side a little bit. That back hand is going to wrap underneath. Swing your hands around, let the palms meet. And then from here, just a slight rotation towards that front knee, and then a slight rotation out to the side. A slight rotation towards that front knee, slight rotation out to the side. Lovely. One more just like that. A slight rotation towards that front knee, a slight rotation out to the side. Unlace your arms, open back into your warrior two. Back hand's going to drop down, peaceful warrior. Lift the front hand up, look to the sky. Take one good breath. Beautiful. And now we're going to cartwheel the hands down to the ground. Pivot on that back heel. Come into your runner's lunge. Heart forward, look forward. Take a breath. Plant your palms. Step back to plank. Lower your knees. Rotate the eyes of your elbows. Hug your elbows into your ribs. Lower onto your belly. One low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Now staying in that down position, take a second to just kind of wiggle out your heels, wiggle out your hips. We're going to take half locust this time through, one on each side. And then the second time through, we're going to take a full locust using both legs. So just find your comfortable position with your arms, which means you could stack them. You can put them under your hip points, anywhere that feels good. Give your heels a little wiggle. Just let your thigh bones get soft in your hip socket. Let your butt muscles relax a little bit. And then once you feel like you found a little softness there, reach through your right toes. Pull your right toes away from you. Lengthen so long through that leg that it lifts up and away. Keep lengthening as you lift up. Beautiful. Lengthen as you lower it down. Once it touches down, give everything a good shake. Wiggle out your bum, wiggle out your heels. And then when you're ready, point your left toes. Pull your left toes away from you. Reach so long through the toes that you lift up. Keep lengthening as you lift up. Beautiful. Lengthen as you lower down. Once that foot touches down, give everything a good shake. Wiggle out your bum, wiggle out your heels. From here, either power up to a plank or take it up to a tabletop position, whichever you like best. And then on an exhale, find your way up to downward facing dog. Right leg is going to come up into that three-legged dog position. Shoulders square, hips square, toes and knees pointing down. Take one good breath. Beautiful. Release that leg down. Soften your knees. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg back, warrior two to the other side. Drop your back heel, turn your toes out. Left hand is going to pick you up. Find your stability here first. Nice and strong through the legs. Lift that strength up through the side body, out through the fingertips, gaze forward, take a breath. Wonderful. And then from here, we're going to wrap up our eagle arms. So that right hand or the forward hand is going to wrap underneath. Wrap your hands around, let your palms meet. Once you found your way here, make sure your legs feel stable. Rotate slightly forward. Rotate out to the side. Rotate forward. Rotate to the side. Rotate forward. Rotate to the side. And then when you're ready, unlace your arms, warrior two, peaceful warrior. Drop the back hand, reach that front hand up, look to the sky. Beautiful. And then spin your hands down to the ground. Pivot on your back heel. So we come through that runner's lunge. Pause there, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Beautiful. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs. Inhale up to Cobra, just a little low Cobra. Exhale to lower down. Awesome. And then take a second, wiggle out your bum, wiggle out your heels. Now from here, I'm going to give you a couple of options for your handhold. So you're going to choose the option you like best. You can start by making fists, and then you're going to kind of lift your butt up and tuck your fists underneath those bony hip points. That's one way to go. If you're wearing jewelry, sometimes I find that to be a little uncomfortable. The other option is you're going to interlace your fingers and make a nice, good handhold. And that means it's going to come under that front bone. So we're going to place those hands in that interlaced position. So you choose your own adventure. You can either just do your palms if that feels like just enough cushioning. The point of the fist is that it just gives you that little lift so you can kind of really get those legs lifting up. So you're going to choose your own adventure here. I personally like the fist method. not the interlaced hands, but that's just because it feels good to me. So choose your own handhold, whatever you like. Now we're going to reach through both sets of toes at the same time. Reach nice and long, and then start to let those legs lift. Keep reaching through those toes, and then lower down with control. Lovely. If your hands were underneath your hips, go ahead and release them. Give your butt a little wiggle. Give your hands and your fingers a little wiggle. And then when you're ready, either power up to a plank or take it up to your table, whichever you like best. Beautiful. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Left leg up into three-legged dog. Keep your shoulders square. Keep your hips level. Nice. And then when you're ready, release that leg down. Soften your knees. Gaze forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold. If you have a yoga strap or your TheraBand or any little tool that you can use to create a little space in your shoulders, roll up to a standing position, grab your tool, whatever you've got handy. You can even use that pillow, Sunny, if you like, so you can just grab the outer edges of the pillow. But if you have a lot of flexibility in your shoulders, you might not need any of those things. We're just going to take it into that shoulder over fold, letting our shoulders fall away. So just know whatever version works good for you. So grab your towel, your strap, or your TheraBand, and then get a good distance behind you so that you can move those arms pretty freely. And then once you feel like you've got that good position, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold over, let your arms fall away from the back of your body. Take one more breath. Let your hands soften towards your low back. Bend your knees. Lift from the top of your head. Let your heart follow. Come up nice and slow. Set your tool off to the side. Find your way back into your mountain pose. Take a second to anchor into your feet. Spread your toes. Lift up through the crown of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight, totally up to you. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right leg back into that runner's lunge. So keep the knee lifted, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. And then from here, we're gonna find our way up to a warrior two. So you're gonna start by pivoting your back heel, pick your right hand up. Beautiful, hand that's forward, that's the hand that's gonna wrap underneath. Take your eagle arms, wrap them up, let your palms meet. Rotate your heart slightly towards that front knee, lift your fingertips slightly, lift your gaze, anchor into your legs. Release your elbows back down, bring it back to center, unwind your arms, open up into your warrior two, drop the back hand, lift the front hand up. Spin your hands down to the ground, pivot your back heel so you come back through that runner's lunge. Beautiful. We're going to take 3 bends and straightens of that front leg. So you don't need to straighten it all the way. We just want to create a little length through the front back of that left leg. Beautiful. As you bend through that runner's lunge, plant your palms, step back to plank, lower your knees, rotate the eyes of your elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control. Inhale up to a cobra. Exhale up to downward facing dog or through a table to downward facing dog. Right leg up into three-legged dog. We're going to bend the knee and let the hip roll open this time. Beautiful. Step that foot through to the top of the mat. So we're going to take it into a runner's lunge to the other side. So right foot forward, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. And then when you're ready, that left foot's going to step up to meet the right. We'll come to a forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg back, warrior two to the other side. Oh no, runner's lunge first. Start there, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. And then when you're ready, drop that back heel down, turn the toes out. Left hand is gonna pick you up. Right hand forward, right hand's gonna wrap underneath. So wrap your arms up into that eagle position. Rotate slightly forward. Lift the elbows up, lift your gaze, strong legs. Release back down, rotate back out to the side, Unlace your arms, back to warrior two. Peaceful warrior, drop the back hand, reach the front hand up, look to the sky. Beautiful, spin those hands down to the ground, pivot that back heel, 3 straightens of that front leg. Just go as far as feels good. We just want to create a little length. Beautiful. And then the next time you come through that runner's lunge, plant your palms, step back to plank, lower your knees, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control onto your belly. Inhale up to Cobra. Exhale, either take it through table or up to down dog. Left leg up into 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. When you're ready, step that left foot through to the top of the mat. We're going to take that runner's lunge to the other side. Heart forward, look forward, take a breath. And then hop that back foot up to meet, come to your forward fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Nice. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Now we're going to start to find our way into our half moon position. So if you know you like using a yoga block, just have it kind of handy near the front end of your mat. If you don't like using a block or you don't need that support, if your arms are nice and long, don't worry about it. But if it feels good to have it there, go ahead and set it up. And then when you're ready, we're going to step both feet back to downward facing dog. Right leg up nice and high, 3-legged dog, bend the knee, let the hip roll open. We're going to step that right foot through to the top of the mat and then find our way to that half moon position. So you're going to keep your toes pointing fairly forward. You're going to either walk your right hand forward or find your yoga block and then just start to pick that back leg up. You might be there and that might be great. If it feels good, you're going to rotate that left hip up towards the ceiling, push through that left heel, and then left hand is going to extend up to the sky. Think about pulling your ribs upward towards the sky so we stay nice and energized through the side of the body. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, left foot's going to touch down to the right. So we're going to take it into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Beautiful. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up to a standing position. Roll your shoulders around, down, and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step both feet back to down dog. Left leg is going to come up nice and high, 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. And then when you're ready, step that left foot through to the top of your mat. Keep your toes pointing fairly forward. Use your block or tent your fingers so you have that nice, tall, strong hand. Start to bring your body weight forward. Lift that back leg up. You might be good there, or if it feels good, you're going to get a little bit more engaged. Rolling that hip up towards the ceiling, pushing through that back heel. So our leg is pushing down into the earth, pushing out away from you. Arm is reaching up towards the sky. So we're reaching in all 4 directions. Lift your ribs upward so we keep that nice light engagement through the side of the body. Take one more breath if you can. And then when you're ready, release that foot down into your forward fold. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to come down into a little ball of yarn. So bend your knees, pick up your heels, lower yourself down. We're going to take a light little balance here. So keeping the heels lifted, maybe you just lift your fingers away from the floor. If you've got balance there, maybe you lift your heart away from your thighs. Prayer hands to heart center. Take one more breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, release your hands to the ground, sit back on your butt. Take your block or your pillow, whatever you're using today, and just have it handy. As we come down to the ground, rolling down onto our back, we're going to place our tool right between the knees. Then just give yourself a second. Make sure your shoulder blades feel good. Your tailbone feels happy. We're going to do an active pushing into our tool. So if you're working with the pillow and you want just that little extra so you can find that cushioning, you might choose to place your pillow in the widest setting because we're going to put a little active push into it. So we want to make sure that we're not, despite that pillow, we want to make sure we keep a little cushion there, something to push against. So rearrange yourself so that you've got a good space. Your back and your shoulders and your tailbone feel good. And then once you're there with that block or your pillow between your knees, you're going to actively push your knees into the block or into your pillow, but it's going to be a really firm press. Your legs are going to be engaged. You're going to feel your inner thighs fire up. You might feel the tops of your quads fire up. Keep pushing in. We're going to keep pushing in, really active, pushing in, and we're going to hold it there for about 10 seconds. So keep pushing inward. Keep holding that push. Nice and active. Your legs might start to shake a little bit. Keep pushing. 5 more seconds. And then when you're ready, grab hold of your block, release your legs, set that block off to the side, pull your right knee up into your chest, draw that right knee in circles, go in one direction. Draw the right knee in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. Hug that knee into your chest. Slide your left leg nice and long. Flex your foot with a handhold on the right knee. Left hand is going to reach up alongside the ear. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Release your left arm back down. Slide your left leg back in. Release your right leg. And we're going to take that to the other side. So pick up your left knee. Draw that knee in circles. Go in one direction. Draw that knee in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then hug that left knee into the chest. Right leg is going to extend nice and long. Flex the right foot so the right leg is active. And then when you feel like you're there, right hand's going to reach up alongside the ear. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Release your right hand. Slide that right leg in. So both knees are going to come into the chest. And now we're going to just take a handhold here that works good for you, but we want to be able to let go in this handhold situation. So I personally like a little interlace of my fingers and just kind of wrap it around my knees and then let the weight of my hands do the work. But you might choose to kind of tuck your hands underneath the backs of your knees as well so that you don't have to effort too much. But what we want to do is just get a nice good handhold of the knees and then let everything else go. So no need to effort. You don't need to pull the legs in. Just find a good handhold that works and then soften your shoulders. Notice that bit of compression against your belly. Take one more breath. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, you're going to set your left foot down. Right leg is going to come across the left. We're going to take it into a eagle position. So you're going to wrap your leg around, and then if you can, pick your left leg up, tuck your right toes underneath your left calf. And once you've got your legs wrapped up, now we're going to take it to the upper body. So right leg on top, right hand is going to come on bottom. Wrap your hands around, let your palms meet, and then we're going to take 3 crunches here. So inhale a nice big breath. As you exhale, pull elbows and knees in towards each other. Inhale and release. Exhale, contract the abdominal muscles, pull the elbows and knees in towards each other. Inhale and release. One more just like that. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale to release. Unwrap your arms, unwrap your legs, set your feet down, pause for a second, just make sure everything feels good. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift the right leg back up, cross your left over the right, tuck your left toes behind your right calf if you can get there, and then wrap up your arms. So with the left leg on top, left hand on bottom, wrap your hands around, let your palms meet. Nice. And then once you've got your way here, exhale, pull elbows and knees in. Inhale and release. Exhale to bring it in. Inhale to release. One more just like that. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, release. Unwrap your arms, unlace your legs, let everything touch down. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. We're going to take it into a figure 4. Right leg across the left. Lift your left leg up. Thread your hands through. Grab either the back of the thigh or the top of the shin. We're going to pull in and release. So gently draw the legs in and then push that left thigh into your hands. Make your arms go as long as they can. Gently pull the legs in. Push the back of your thigh into your hands. Straighten your arms as much as you can. One more just like that. Gently pull the legs in. Push the thigh into the hands. And then find a fairly neutral position so you can rock your figure four a little side to side. Awesome. One more little rock side to side, and then unlace your fingers, set that foot down. We're going to take our figure four to the other side. So step your right leg off, left leg across, set yourself up. And then once you're there, if it feels good to do so, you're going to lift that right leg up, thread your hands through, gently draw the legs in, push your thigh into your hands, straighten your arms as much as you can. Gently draw the legs in, push your thigh into your hands, straighten your arms as much as you can. One more just like that. Gently draw the legs in, push the thigh into your hands, straighten your arms as much as you can, and then bring it to a more neutral position and rock your figure four a little side to side. Nice. One more little rock side to side. And then as we release, we're going to take it right into a supine twist. So you're going to let go of the back of the right thigh, take hold of your left knee. As you extend your right leg nice and long, the left knee is going to go first. So take that left knee over and across the body to the right. Let your left arm open out nice and wide. Head turns to the left. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. And then when you're ready, pull the left knee into your chest, bring your right knee into meet so both knees hug in. Hold onto your right knee, send your left leg nice and long. And now we're going to take supine twist to the other side. Take that right knee over to the left. Right arm opens out nice and wide. Head turns to the right. Beautiful. When you're ready, pull the right knee into your chest. Bring your left knee into meet. Both knees come in for a little hug. And then we're going to release our feet down to the ground, just a bent knee position. And then we're going to take it back into the arms and the shoulders. So as you inhale, arms are going to reach up alongside your ears. Exhale, circle the arms big down toward your hips. Inhale, up and overhead. Exhale, circle around and down. One more just like that. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale to circle around. And now we're going to take our arms into our I dream of genie arms, or that crisscross across your chest. Nice square arms, catch your elbows, and just pull your elbows gently side to side. One more, pull the elbows side to side. And then we're going to let our hands just relax down alongside the hips, but we're going to put a little reach into the fingertips. So reach your fingertips down toward your heels, create a little bit of length in the shoulders and the side of the neck, and then relax that position. And now just the right fingers. Right fingers are going to reach towards the right heel. Turn your head to the left. Bring your head back to center, release that right hand. Left fingertips are going to reach towards the left heel, so we create that length. Turn your head to the right. Bring your head back to center, relax your left hand, and then pause just for a moment to notice. Ask yourself where would be your best Shavasana. If you're in a cold space, give yourself a few seconds to just get yourself situated, put your socks on, put your sweater on, get your blanket. And then whatever position of the body feels good. So maybe constructive rest, super supportive to the low back can be a really gentle position to be in. Maybe a reclined cobbler's pose, tucking your yoga blocks or your blanket around your thighs so that it keeps it supported and we're not pulling too much against the SI and creating an imbalance there. Or maybe you just take that more traditional shape, walk your legs nice and long. Any variation with the body that feels good to you and allows you to find a little bit of stillness. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Start by just gently wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes. And as you start to invite just that gentle bit of movement, your fingers and your toes are wiggling. Can you feel that bit of movement that extends away from the fingers? So it's not just the fingers and the toes that are moving. There's other connective points that help move the fingers and the toes. So can you sort of tune in and feel the muscular action that helps make that happen? Take one more moment, just paying attention, and then just start to invite some bigger movements into your body. Maybe move your wrists, move your ankles, bob your knees, any little bit of gentle movement here that feels good. If you've got a blanket on or if you've got any props, you might choose to take a second to kind of scooch them off to the side. And then if your legs were in a bent position, maybe extend them nice and long to the end of your mat. And then find that good morning stretch. Reach long through the toes, reach through the fingertips, take up a bunch of space on your mat. Find that nice long reach, take a big breath back into your body, take up a whole bunch of space in your world. And then when you're ready, soften, relax all of your muscles, let your hands just kind of float down at your sides. Take a second to wag out your tail, make sure everything feels good. And then in your own way, at your own time, start to find your way up to a comfortable seated position, maybe coming up to Sukhasana if that's a nice way to sit, but any other seat that feels good in your body. Awesome. And then as you come up to your comfortable seated position, just take a second, kind of wiggle into your butt, make sure you feel like you're upright, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to bring the hands together, fire up those palms, get them nice and good and hot. Once you feel like your palms are nice and warm, we're going to place them over the hip bones. So over the front hip bones or to the side of your hips, just whatever handhold feels good, but place those hands on, close your eyes down, take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. When you're ready, bring those palms back together. Fire them up, get them nice and good and hot. And then once your hands feel good and hot, we're going to place them on the bottom side of the ribs. So we're going to find that nice rib space. Let your hands rest on that bottom curve of the ribs. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. Bring those hands back together one last time. Fire up those palms, get them nice and good and hot. And then once they're nice and good and hot, we're going to give ourselves a little hug. So we're going to wrap the arms around, catch hold of the shoulders. Just let your shoulders get nice and heavy. Close your eyes down. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Give yourself one last little squeeze. And then release those hands to stack on your heart and bow your head to your heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy whatever day this is. I don't even know anymore. I think it's Tuesday.